in here? In talking to my mother last night, we were talking about this history thing, and I wrote down rabbit hole of history. Why do it? Or rabbit hole of studying history. This it hit me, this idea last night in thinking about why do we learn, why do we study? Isn't ignorance just bliss? Just stay ignorant, don't learn, don't study. And well, that's what a lot of people do. More people don't study than people who do. Okay, so let's put that right out there. I mean, I don't know why you're acting like that's a thing people don't do, because they do it every day.
Stop.
Let him do his flipping, man. My God, he's trying to get it right. He ain't doing a good job, but he's trying. He's our silent entertainment for the people while we talk. He's been giving them magic and cardistry and everything. Well, you better do some. Do the pen thing.
I can't do that. Only Shin Lim can do that.
Yeah, he's the guy that stumped Penn and Teller with.
He's the one with the smoke.
How did you do the pen thing? All right. I don't know. What are your thoughts on should people study history? Why should they study history? What's the benefit of studying history in a world that looks at everything as fake news? Like, it's all wrong, it's all fake. So why study it?
Well,
Your thoughts?
First of all,
Go for it.
history is an important part of the present because we have to know, or we should know, why we do the things we do. Why do we think the way we think about a certain subject? Why do we behave a certain way when it comes to something? Why don't we do this? Why do we do this? Why do we think the draft is bad? Well, we think the draft is bad because blah, 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 blah. For me, history fills in the blanks. It helps me understand why.
What if you don't care about the why?
I can't answer that question because I don't know. What's my favorite thing in the world about you?
The fact that I ask questions.
There's always a why. I want to know why.
Yes, but what if you're like a Chinese person and you don't care about the why?
It's not
There is
that,
no why.
It's not about that they don't care. It's that they've been trained not to ask why.
Okay, but my point. Why? What if you don't care? If it's something, a part of your culture that you simply just don't care about where it came from or why you do it. It's just who you are and what you do. You don't ask any questions about it.
I can't answer that because I don't know.
Then you
Like,
wouldn't find out. You wouldn't go searching for the answers because you have no need for the question.
I don't understand living in ignorance. If there's something I don't know,
It's the same.
I want to know.
It's the same as watching a movie. Because I did this to you when we watched Harry Potter. We were watching, and as soon as he puts on the cloak of invisibility, it's like he just put on a green cloth and they took out his body.
Don't
And
do
you're-
that.
See?
Don't ruin the movie magic.
But to me, that's interesting.
I like
Okay,
to.
but what you're
know
talking
how
about
to
has
do that.
nothing. Okay, I don't. That none of what you're talking about now
No.
has anything to do with our question.
No, it was the ignorance is bliss.
I know,
Same
but that's
idea.
not ignorance. That's just willful disbelief while watching a film,
Right.
which is what everybody does.
You're
I mean,
believing the movie magic.
No, you're just believing the world of the movie. You're
Right.
just your
getting-
suspension of disbelief. I mean, that's just part of watching a film.
Right.
I don't think that's not a spoiler. I mean, that's just film. I mean, does the guy really jump off the building? And you know,
Well-
at one time they did.
At one time, they did, yes.
On fire through a window.
Yeah.
We've been watching the corridor.
That guy from Ben-Hur actually did get run over.
Yeah,
and he
exactly.
died.
I
I mean,
know.
they're
Very
very
brutal.
different, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. What you're talking about now is not. Do you want to? I mean, having a questioning mind about the world around you, okay, fine. But I'm more specifically looking at questioning what you know from history. Not just not just questioning, why does the light bulb work? I'm questioning actual history. Like, why should we know this stuff? Why should we focus on trying to understand it in a world, one, where you can look up everything.
Right.
Also, in a world, should we be trying to learn it in order to apply it to our current situations? Like, what is the purpose of this for you?
What is the purpose of it for you?
No, you. I'm talking about you.
Well, I'm into history just simply because I'm nosy. I want to know why.
You said I'm nosy.
I'm nosy. I want to know. I want to know the stories. I want to know the ins and outs. I want to know the behind the scenes stuff.
That's what intellectual people are, nosy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Inquisitive, questioning. All the things that women should not be in Handmaid's Tale. That actually, I just watched that episode where they actually say that. It was a baby that looked inquisitive, and the men were like, a girl that is questioning, such a bad thing. So yeah, you haven't watched any of that. You want to know where Trump's world goes? Watch The Handmaid's Tale. It literally is like what he's talking about. You want sanctioned rape? Watch The Handmaid's
There's
Tale.
already sanctioned.
No. I'm talking about sanctioned by the state.
Yeah.
No, that's not there. We don't have that yet.
We have laws that say that if a husband rapes a wife, it's not rape.
Yeah.
That's sanctioned rape.
Okay, that isn't what I'm talking about, though. I'm not talking about having a legal, like you're legally bound, right, as husband and wife. What they're saying essentially is that a husband can't rape a wife. It's the same thing. It's kind of like saying a wife can't testify against a husband. That's what they're saying because of the relationship. It's not right, but that's what they're saying. But what happens when a husband rapes a whole nother woman? Not the wife.
Hanging by
And
the
that being sanctioned by the state.
No.
And the wife holding the woman down while it happens. Watch The Handmaid's Tale, people. See? Yeah, I told you to watch it long ago. You just don't want to. There's so many things in pop culture that would inform what you're dealing with in the news, in current events, and what's going on around you, and you're missing it.
But
You're missing it when it happens.
There was a time when I would be all like the Outlander. I really liked that show, but it got to a point where there was so much rape and attempted rape and violence. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, you should do it.
I cannot.
This is what I'm getting at with the history thing.
Listen. I have the right to say I can't do that anymore.
Nobody told you. Nobody's talking about anybody's rights.
No, but I can't continue to put myself in that position.
But you have to.
And why do I have to?
Okay. That's what. This is where this question comes from.
But
this,
why
no,
do
wait,
I
stop.
have to?
This is exactly where this question about the history comes from. It comes from the exact same place. This is where the argument I was having last night. This is where it comes from.
Tell me why I have to.
The idea of kind of pushing away the things that are disturbing and problematic, that are maybe historical, they are maybe just culturally accurate, but they're things that if you don't see it, you can kind of not deal with it, even though it is right there in front of you in the White House. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're saying, no, I don't want to focus on it. But remember, it's like watching Roots, the old Roots. If black folks sat back and said, yeah, this was a painful time, I've heard stories, I know what happened, I don't want to watch it. It's like, no, you've got to watch it because it was made at a certain time and it's given a voice to current events of its day. Like if you were watching it when it first came out. Current events were there. You see, and a lot of people, it's not just about what happened prior to the Civil War. It's literally talking about, it's making comments on the current society while talking about this stuff that happened in the past. And that's what current TV is doing for us today. So then it becomes important because they're making comments, like when you watch The Handmaid's Tale, you're getting comments about current politics without dealing with, like, without ever talking about it. But the current political climate is all there in that story, even though that story was written sometime in the past. Because I think there was a movie about The Handmaid's Tale. I mean, the book is old. It's not a new story. The book was written, and then there was a movie, I think with Faye Dunaway in it or something. There was a movie, and then there's this show. So it's like each iteration, you're going to get commentary on current events inside of there, this thing being the vehicle for that commentary. It's like when you watch Westworld. It's essentially a world that doesn't exist, right? But all of their commentary is about our current world. That's the benefit of it. It's not about watching somebody get raped all the time or no.
But as
it's
someone,
not about that. It's about what are they saying about, say, the current occupant of the White House, or what are they saying about Epstein, or what are they saying about the courts? What are they saying? That's the important
but
thing.
do I really need an artistic view of the politics that I already follow?
Yes.
Because as a rape victim, I don't want to constantly be having it flashing in my face and reminding me of my own experience and my own pain and my own shame and everything. I can't anymore. There was a time when I was younger that I could handle it. Then I became a mother. And I would wake up in the middle of the night after having nightmares of someone harming our daughter or harming our son. And I would have to go and sit by their bed for hours just to make sure they were okay. I can't do those things anymore because I haven't healed from the trauma that I've been experiencing. And I can't heal if I keep watching it. If it keeps ripping the...
I don't believe that.
If it keeps ripping the scab off over and over and over...
I'm a scab ripper.
I'm not a scab ripper. Don't pick at it. Let it
I
heal.
am literally a scab ripper. I'm always ripping it off.
No.
Over and over.
And that's
and
why...
over. But you know what? That also... Being raped, being violated... I don't know if... I hate when people try to rank pain, you know.
Your pain
But-
is your pain.
No, when they try to rank it, you know, the Holocaust versus, you know, slavery and all that stuff.
No.
But the idea that, you know, like you're talking about the ripping off thing, I'm sorry, but I'm getting the scab ripped off in every country we've ever been in.
Yeah.
All the job interviews, you know, the just watching a TV show, the scab is getting ripped off every single time. You're never getting away from being black and American. So I guess maybe that's why I say rip it off. Keep looking at it. Keep dealing with it. Do something politically, socially to mitigate the problems that are in the world. Even though those things happen to you, you need to do something about it and be motivated by what you're seeing and what they're saying. It's just like when you were saying the BBC podcast with the women talking about, what were they talking about? Children or raising children or whatever. Same thing. You should listen to it because you need to react to it. You need to say, that's bullshit. And call bullshit where you see it.
But I don't need to listen to it to call bullshit because
No,
I
but you have to. How would you know what they said? You're not going to know what they're saying right now on their podcast if you don't listen to it.
True.
Well, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But I don't need to keep watching these shows over and over and over in different contexts.
Well, but maybe you do.
I don't.
But it's not for the one idea. It's for the broader idea.
But the problem is they have...
I mean, think about how many books are written about the pain of being a woman in Western culture.
Lots.
People read all those books.
Yeah.
And those women have essentially a set of experiences that keep getting replayed in different orders.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're still talking about the same subject matter, but people still read all those books. You know, you're talking coming of age stories. Why do we have so many? Now we're getting coming of age stories for women mostly.
Yeah.
You know, right? So, or women, at least women protagonists, where they're the hero, which it didn't happen. You know.
Most of our lives.
Well, yeah, exactly. We didn't get a lot of that. So, I mean, should we be watching it? Hell yeah. Should we be watching girls go through that process? Yes. Why? Because we watch boys do it. You know what I mean? We have been watching that story. We've been watching St. Elmo's Fire how many times now? In TV, in movies, and you know, the 20-somethings they're just out of college trying to figure it all out and make it. You know, so same pain, same problems, same issues. Now you're getting LGBTQ stories of the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And should we? Yes. If you're say lesbian and you're watching those things, you're gonna have a different take on it because you have a personal attachment to that story.
Right.
But me watching it, I don't have that take, and I'm going to now learn something. Should we all be watching it? Yes. You see what I mean? Because as a society, shouldn't I be? You know, it's like watching Queer Eye. Shouldn't I? And we used to watch the one that was teaching guys how to be better.
Yeah, we used to watch.
We used to watch it. So it's like why shouldn't we all have those experiences, not even vicariously through those characters or through those real people in the reality TV world, but just knowing, being understanding of their plight as human beings in a culture, you know? Every time, think about it. Think about all the times that you sat there and you watched a crime drama and they pulled in some black dude. Oh my God.
Every single time. Every single show.
Well, they remember what? Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Not Bad Boys. The TV show that used the song.
911, whatever. What was it? Cops.
Yeah, Cops. I mean, they were always bringing in people. And how do you think that made all of us feel?
Yep.
That was funny. If you want to follow the Traveling Fars,
And the sugar.
quiet. You can find us on the YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, iTunes, Spotify, or the Google Podcast at The Traveling Fars. If you like the Instagram or Twitter, Traveling Fars. If you like the email, travelingfars@gmail.com, and the blog space, thetravelingfars.blueberry.net. No E's in the blueberry. I think that's it. I think that's all.
You didn't make an outro, did you?
This is the outro. What are you talking about?
No, like
No, this is it.
that thing that
You're in it now. Seriously. This is the thing that will be on all the videos.
Oh.
So say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people.
Peace! Not kidding. This is the outro. For this set of videos.
Dude.
Roddy. You're being victimized every show.